What's up, guys? Garrett, Daniel, and Andy, the Sheer Drop Wrestling team. We are back again. We're going to be doing some of our predictions for this week's Premium Live event, which is, of course, Fastlane. So, first off, how is everybody doing? Andy, I know we just did our Raw review.
Yeah, I'm doing all right.
We're doing good. We're chilling.
Bing chilling. All right. So, Andy and I talked about this a lot on the Raw review, and the episode of Raw just wasn't a very good go home. Didn't make me feel any more excited for Fastlane than I already was, which wasn't a lot to begin with. So maybe SmackDown will turn it around. Maybe there will be some energy there. I mean, that's where kind of like, the LA Knight John Cena stuff, like all of that. It feels like a SmackDown heavy pay per view. So there's not a whole lot of Raw input.
Yeah.
About anything. Actually, most of the matches that are announced, I think it looks like they're like SmackDown derived right now, or at least it's leaning SmackDown.
It's leaning SmackDown,
yeah. But I guess we can just get into the thick of things here. So the first match on the card that we're looking at is the LWO, which is going to be featured by Rey Mysterio, Santos Escobar, Joaquin Wilde, and or Cruz del Toro. I don't think they've actually said who is going to be part of that yet. Maybe we'll find out on Friday. Maybe it'll be up in the air. But they are facing the team of Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. So as far as what I think, I don't like calling it because we don't know what members of the LWO are going to be involved. And my pick solely rests on whether or not Rey Mysterio is part of the group. I think if Rey is there, I think it's an LWO win. If Rey isn't there, I think Lashley and the Profits are going to take it. But I guess because I kind of have to make a decision now, I am going to say Street Profits and Bobby Lashley just to be safe. I know that they're kind of coming apart at the seams, but I think the Street Profits are going to kind of turn that leaf and turn into the group that Lashley wants them to be. And I think it's going to happen at Fastlane. And I think whether or not Mysterio is there is kind of just like this nebulous thing. But I think that the LWO is kind of just there. And this new Bobby Lashley and Street Profits team kind of needs that little bit of momentum to get more established on the card to show that they're a threat.
Yeah, I do agree. I think regardless, this is going to kind of be that moment of the Street Profits kind of solidifying who they are and that they're going to be that tag team that Bobby wants them to be. Regardless of whether Mysterio is there or not, my prediction is that the Street Profits and Lashley are going to take it. I know Mysterio being there is very much so gives them an advantage with his skill and, it being Rey Mysterio. But I do think that it's kind of going to be that moment where the Street Profits solidify themselves as the tag team Lashley wants them to be, and also just pushing the group as a whole over as well.
All right, so let's go 3 for 3. I'm gonna go with Street Profits and Lashley as well. I could see, even if Rey isn't necessarily in the match, I could see him still showing up, doing something, maybe a little bit of trickery or something like that, but for pretty much the same reasons that's already been stated. I'm gonna go Lashley and the Street Profits as well. So yeah, can't really say much more that hasn't been said. So
it's gonna be crazy when the LWO win.
We're all gonna be wrong.
Punching air.
Guess we can go ahead and move on to the next one. Unless anything else you want to say? Up next on the list the ones we're discussing for the card. We have the Undisputed Tag Team Championship on the line from Judgment Day, defended by Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Challenged by, well, I guess, kind of challenged by Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso.
It was more so challenged by Adam Pearce with these two other men as his proxy.
Yeah, Adam Pearce kind of walked out last night on Raw while Judgment Day and Cody and Jay were all kind of going at it, and was like, hey, stop this. Fight each other on Saturday instead. It's official. I'm making it happen regardless of whether you want it to happen or not.
And now we're here.
Yeah. My prediction, I really don't see them taking the belts off of Damian and Finn just yet. While I do see that happening sometime down the line, kind of with the fall of Judgment Day, I guess you could call it, with starting with Dom losing his belt like he did at No Mercy. I very well could see them losing it sometime soon. However, it's Fastlane. I don't exactly think that they're going to have that happen at Fastlane, but who knows?
I was going to pick Judgment Day as well. Again, like you said, and we've talked about before, Judgment Day eventually down the line falling apart, losing the titles, things like that, with Dom and starting with Dom, and then again with Rhea kind of reiterating recently, talking to Dom about like, oh, if you don't get the title back, you're not coming home, and that whole thing. But yeah, I think it would be a bit much to have like, oh, Dom didn't get the title back. These guys lost both of their belts. Everything just kind of exploded all at once. So I'm gonna pick the Judgment Day as well, and then also I don't know. As much as we love Cody Rhodes, I don't think he's faced enough adversity yet. So
no adversity at all. Actually.
We gotta have him. Yeah, we've got to have him struggle a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Tear his other pack.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm gonna pick the Judgment Day for those reasons.
Okay, so hear me out. So, the whole Judgment Day thing right now is, oh fuck, we're losing our titles. I can see a scenario in which Damian and Finn drop the belts, because that adds fuel to not only the, I guess, current Judgment Day storyline for everyone losing their belts. It adds a what if scenario to what I imagine will be, it's probably not the main event because it's not Bloodline related, nor the, John Cena. But it kind of adds a what if to Seth's match if Damian's no longer a tag champ, but still has the briefcase. It adds a little gasoline to the whole Kevin Owens not trusting Jey Uso and Cody, and now they're tag champs, and it should be Sammy and Kevin and like all this other type of stuff. So it feels like taking the tag belts off of Finn and Damian, even though it's just hot-shotting it onto Cody and Jey, onto like this makeshift team. I feel like it propels the story more. It adds a little more like nuance to everything. But I'm having a hard time convincing myself that it will happen that way. Although I think it would be a little more interesting. I think I'm also going to say Judgment Day. I know that on Raw, with JD's plan of trying to get other parties involved to disrupt Jey from succeeding on Raw, I know that they're going to try that. I'd love to be 100% correct about my headcanon, my fantasy booking there, where it all just implodes at once and then Priest like cashes in or whatever. And then it's like, no one else has a belt, and then like Finn and JD like split and Dom kind of just does his own thing, and it's like the end of the Judgment Day as we know it. I just don't think we're going to pull that trigger yet. So I think, I'm going to say Judgment Day though. But
Yeah.
god damn it, I want that to happen.
Yeah.
The only thing that's
I
holding
was
it back is the fact that like it's Fastlane, you know.
yeah.
But if they want something to
That's
make the card stand out, to make it feel memorable, there we go.
yeah.
But I'm gonna say Judgment Day.
That's why I said I don't think they're going to do that. Like they're going to have anyone else win at Fastlane other than Judgment Day, because I also think that that would be a really good line to push the story down. Of yeah, okay, now we just go ahead and let it explode.
Oh well.
Oh.
So we're 3 for 3 again.
Yeah. So moving on to the women's triple threat match for the women's championship. We've got Io Sky versus Asuka versus our girl Charlotte Flair. Um so in terms of like, let's see, like who's actually gonna win, and like I don't know. I'd like to see Io keep the belt for a little bit longer. Honestly, I'd be okay with Io or Asuka having the belt. And we'll just pretend that Charlotte's not in the match. Um, so but in terms of like actual like who has the belt, I'm still gonna stick with Io. I'd just like to see her keep it for I don't know, at least a little bit longer. It still feels like a relatively fresh run with her. She's always fun to watch, so having the belt on somebody deserving is pretty nice. So I'm gonna stick with Io.
That's fair. It was only made a trip. So I'm curious. So well, not curious. But that was the wrong word. But the only reason it's a triple threat is because Bailey made it a triple threat because Asuka said something in Japanese, and Bailey's like, "Oh, so you think that you can beat Io and Charlotte in a triple threat? Then you're on." And you hear Io in the back like, "That's not what she said. Um, that's not what she said at all."
No.
But that's how we got this triple threat.
Yeah.
I am in the same boat. I would love to see Io retain, but I'm wondering now if because this is once again Bailey overstepping her boundaries and trying to cosplay as the women's champion and making all of Io's moves for her and speaking for her on her behalf. And it just because Charlotte's involved, this could be the time where it finally backfires and finally Io like could break away from damage control just having enough of Bailey's shtick. It would make Io like the sympathetic figure because she lost her title because her supposed friend cared more about the title than her friend and like all this other type of stuff. So realistically, I could see this going absolutely any way. I'm never going to complain if Asuka has the belt. I'm not going to complain if Io retains. I'll probably complain if Charlotte wins because Charlotte wins lol. I'm I'm going to say Io retains though. I'm doing a lot of like fantasy booking that I want to happen, but ultimately like again, it's Fastlane. It's probably not going to be a super memorable show. Famous last words, literally everything I'm saying could happen. I'm going to say Io though.
Chance.
I'm going to say Io. I'm not happy about it though.
I agree with the fact that I could very well see this going with, Io losing the belt at this moment because of Bailey's attempting to live vicariously through her, essentially.
That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Just trying to be the champ even though she is not the champ and getting Io stuck into all these situations that she probably doesn't want to have to be shoved into against her will. My prediction is definitely that I think Io will be retaining. Only thing I really have to say otherwise is I just wish that it could have just been a normal 1v1 match. This kind of feels like yet another thing that they kind of just thrown Charlotte into, because lol Charlotte Flair. It's at least the second time I can think of that happening in the last, 3-4 years, I think, of Asuka having a match against somebody and lol Charlotte Flair's there too. So,
So ask Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey how they feel about that.
Mm-hmm.
I could also see like a potential story of where if Io retains, still falling into a feud like with Bayley for a lot of the same reasons you mentioned, of like, you keep putting me in these situations because you want this title so bad. How about you actually just fight me for it? And then Io retains against Bayley.
Pam.
Shout out to Pam.
Pam.
We'll see. The one thing I don't like about fantasy booking is that, like, you slowly convince yourself that that's what should happen, and then when it doesn't happen, you get sad.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've got the World Heavyweight Championship match. It is Seth Rollins defending against Shinsuke Nakamura in a last man standing match. There was a very fun segment on Raw where Shinsuke beat Seth up, and then there was a video of him on the Tron counting to 10 while he's beating up Seth. In case you forgot how a last man standing match works.
Yeah.
So this is another one where on paper it should probably only go one way, but I could see it going another way. Like, I don't know why they would give this match to Shinsuke again if he's just gonna lose again. I get that it does, like, it works for his character, it builds him back up, and I guess it's one of those situations where even in defeat you can come out stronger than when you entered the program, and that's all fine and dandy. But, like, if they don't give him the title, why should we care? I'm gonna say Seth. I think he's gonna retain, but I don't know if he's gonna walk out of the night with the belt. Just barring how the tag match plays out. There might be a cash in. Again, they might be looking for that one thing to kind of pop Fastlane and be like, well, you can't discredit the B-level pay-per-views because there was a cash in. I mean, we were at the Extreme Rules when Brock cashed in, and that was just like, oh, Brock's here. Like, oh. So they might want something to just kind of like spice the card up. So I think Seth is going to retain, but I am on the fence about whether or not Seth is the champion after the event goes off the air.
Yeah. I think there's a very good chance that Seth does not walk out of that facility with the belt that night.
Because, like, in kayfabe, like, if not now, when?
Yeah. Literally, like, you have this dude served up on a silver platter to you, essentially. He has taken he's probably taken back shot after back shot all night long.
Search Seth Rollins back shots on your work computer.
It's safe, you can trust me. So yeah, I don't. There's a very good chance that he's not walking out of the building with the belt around his waist.
Walking at all.
Probably not. Pretty Deadly's just about to be done with that wheelchair. They need to get some use out of it, so why not have Seth Rollins hop on into it?
Yes, boy.
Those things ain't cheap. It also does make a lot of sense of, like, if they're going to be giving Shinsuke this shot that he technically should not have had, given the way things should happen with having clean losses and whatnot against the champion. Why are they not going to just give it to him now they've just worked on building his character up, and all of this. But I do feel like Seth is going to retain for this match as well. Be really neat to see Shinsuke take the belt. I don't think now is the time. They just, as I stated, they just built his character back up. So I think they did this as a way to get him back into the light of, the main event scene, get him a bit of a stronger character going, or just some more character work going, and then roll with it from there and see where things end up.
Say I can also see, again, like you said, based on how the tag match goes, whether or not we see a cash in, things like that. But one thing that's been kind of like stuck in my mind with this match in particular is the business side of things and money. And there's was scrolling back through Twitter. And then next month they're going to be doing the streaming service in Japan through like that whole promo, and like dead center for the Raw promo is Shinsuke. So which better way to promote, like, does it make, sense character wise or things like that? Jinder Mahal was a champion for a considerable amount of time. This is by no way at all am I comparing Shinsuke to Jinder Mahal, but kind of like similar kind of like, I don't know, like ideas kind of applying here. So that's kind of the only thing that like kind of throws a wrench into it a little bit for me in terms of like decision making, because, story wise, character wise, things like that. Yes, I think it would be cool. Like, Seth retains and then loses in a cash in, something like that. But I don't know. There's a lot of real world stuff going on as well.
It sounds like you're trying to hinder the Jinder.
Every day, baby.
That's right.
So I'm gonna throw out Shinsuke as my pick, actually. Mm-hmm. Just kind of one, so we're not, 3 for 3, all that, and then also, yeah, and then also like, I don't know, the company is known to like money, so I'm gonna throw it out.
Yeah, that's very valid. Very valid.
Yeah.
Watch.
I'm gonna throw it out, see what happens, and yeah.
Yeah, I'll have said I'll be wrong twice in a row about Shinsuke at that point. Then, so I could see that. And rounding up the matches for the card that we have for you is the John Cena and LA Knight versus the Bloodline tag match. They've kind of had, John Cena's had, beef and issues going on with the Bloodline for at least like the last month or so, I'd say. Kind of just brewing. We had that week where AJ kind of stepped in and was going to help John Cena because LA Knight was unfortunately tested positive for COVID. So, he was there and then he wasn't. The same, if I remember correctly, Solo Sikoa kind of marked him off screen.
Yep. AJ Styles is dead right now.
Yeah. Kind of as a, message to the rest of the competitors of, hey, don't help John Cena. Let him do this on his own. I'll stop beating around the bush. I think it's going to be John Cena and LA Knight. I really do. I could see because we haven't seen Roman in I don't know how long, and I don't know if he's out for any reasons or anything. But I could see him maybe interfering or showing up, that causing issues one way or another. But
I say, as of now, it is not advertised for the card.
Okay. Well, I just want to see John Cena and LA Knight beat up the Bloodline. I'm gonna be real.
Valid.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree. Just based on pure emotion. I want John Cena and LA Knight to win, so I'm going to pick them to win. So now they're gonna win. It's crazy. That's how that works. So yeah, I think it's kind of funny that you mentioned, like Solo's like you can't have anyone helping you or anything like that. I guess he completely forgot what he's been doing with Roman Reigns for like 2 years. Just like nonstop interfering and helping. But him kind of murdering AJ. AJ can like feud with the Undertaker again, I guess. So that's kind of neat.
In parts unknown.
But I guess bringing this back here, I'm gonna pick LA Knight and John Cena to take this one.
If you could believe, I am torn about who to pick on this one. So, my heart is obviously saying just pick the team that has LA Knight. LA Knight has the jetpack strapped to his back right now, and he is riding that sumbitch all the way to the main event. However, the company has been subtly making Solo and Cena like the thing, and I'm kind of wondering if like they're gonna let Solo get the pinfall on Cena. I don't think LA Knight's getting pinned. You can take him out of the equation. He is a non-factor, I think, honestly. But with the whole like Solo actually standing up to Cena and like all the stuff that's been going on, I think it would be very cool for Cena to put over Solo to help establish him as like this absolute threat that people need to watch out for. I mean, he killed AJ Styles, and just Solo has always been the enforcer. Like Solo's the reason Cody didn't win. Solo is the reason that like I believe Drew didn't win. That was Solo's debut at I think it was Clash at the Castle. So like Solo has kind of always been the one, and I honestly I genuinely think the Bloodline have this, and I think it's going to be Solo pinning Cena. Could be wrong. Could just be, LA Knight pins Jimmy because it's Jimmy. But I think the more memorable and important thing would be for Cena to put over Solo. I think LA Knight is already made. WWE hears his reactions. They're putting him in a match with John Cena for a reason. That's not an accident. That's not a mistake. I think they're well aware of LA Knight and what he can do for them. But now I think it's really time for like Solo to like step up. So I am actually going to say Bloodline on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. It would really kind of just solidify him as this very strong force within the Bloodline. However,
Hagerstown's finest, baby.
Solo don't wear no shoes.
No.
He's got them dogs out.
Yeah.
Right.
The grippers.
All right. So as of now, that is everything that is on the Fastlane card. We are doing this on Tuesday. So obviously there's no SmackDown yet. If anything is added for SmackDown, oh well. We're not gonna go back and redo this. So Just gonna take everything at face value, and
We'll send out a tweet or
we'll
something.
see how wrong we are.
We can always send out a tweet, have each of our names, our prediction.
But I say we should probably keep like track of these for like points.
Yeah.
Not for any purpose.
Yeah.
Just...
You guys are ahead of me.
Oh yeah, that's right. You thought that Sammy and KO were gonna get them back, or no, they were gonna retain.
No, because the only difference that we all had on the last one was I thought Shinsuke was going to take it.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So we all had the Sammy one wrong, but I was extra wrong.
Okay, yeah, that's what it was. I'll have to go back. We'll have to jot it down. I still have your guys' scores from like Guess the Wrestler written around here somewhere, which I swear there's going to be a part 2 to that. We'll just have to figure that one out. But we're slightly deviating. We're a little on a tangent here, so we'll probably tie it up real quick. So to those who have
never
watched,
deviated before.
What does that even mean? Who's devi? It's the dumbest shit I've ever said. What did they eat? So for those who are still watching, thank you for making it to the end. If you would do us a favor, hit the like, leave us a comment, let us know what your guys' predictions are for Fastlane. How do you see the night playing out? Do you think that there's going to be any surprise moments? Are we going to see a cash-in? Want to hear what everyone thinks. If you want to hear from us more often, you can always hit that subscribe, maybe hit that bell, at least be notified when Andy and I get up our SmackDown and Raw reviews. But until then, this has been the Sheer Drop Wrestling team, signing out.